This is a podcast from the Queen City Podcast Network.
Welcome to Nerd School.
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Yeah.
Suck it, nerds!
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Suck it, nerds!
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Suck it, nerds!
Welcome to Nerd School. Welcome back to another episode of the Nerd School podcast, nerds. We pick up in Katmandu on our review of Doctor Strange.
Okay,
No.
back to Katmandu. Have any of you guys been to Katmandu?
No,
I have not.
Art, you been to Katmandu?
Bob Seger has.
Bob Seger has. And I like how she references that when he gets back to Regina George, and she's like, "Oh, like the Bob Seger song when he goes through the portal and shows up."
Yeah.
Anyway, he
And-
goes to
and then he
Katmandu.
says when it was released and what album it was on. And Sunday.
Yes, all the facts.
Yeah.
Well, Mordo finds him right away, and he gets
Yeah, he's hanging out and he overhears him asking for the temple.
he's getting mugged,
Mhm.
and Mordo helps him fight all these guys because he can't punch because his hand's all messed up. And he gets his ass beat. And that kind of shows us too. He's not tough. He's not a fighter. So
Mhm.
later when he becomes all this, we know he's just a regular guy. But Mordo comes in and Mordo establishes he's a badass.
Mhm.
And he looks kind of like Chris Carter, the wide receiver for the Vikings.
No.
He
Former
takes
wide
him in and they meet the Ancient One and they address his whole I don't believe in chakras or any of this shit. Blah, 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 blah. And then Ancient One.
While he's also being an asshole, you come here for help. And your first instinct is let me be a jerk to them right off the bat.
We just blow off all of your
Maybe-
beliefs. Yeah.
If you weren't a jerk, you wouldn't have got put out within 10 minutes. Like you could not believe and state that in a way that doesn't get you kicked out.
I want to know who the old man is that he thinks is the Ancient One.
She says
And
his
then he
name.
walks off. He does. Okay, get out of here, old man.
No, he's like just another disciple in the temple. She says his name.
I don't remember that guy, but I did notice a thing on this walkthrough or thing that I would not have noticed if I didn't have the subtitles on. There's a bit later when Caecilius starts making his move to attack the sanctums. One of the guy who was protecting the New York sanctum, who gets killed, Strange refers to him as Drum, and it's like fucking Drum. That's Jericho Drum. That's fucking Brother Voodoo, who is a major Marvel. Well, he was at that time. He was a little less major. He was sort of like this weird '70s relic kind of dude.
Wow. So it's
he
another
eventually
instance of them putting random naming
Yeah, but-
characters real Marvel.
Right.
guys.
Right.
But he's become pretty significant. Like he first appeared in Strange Tales 169 in 1973. And he's just sort of like this like mystic of the sort of the the voodoo realm, the New Orleans mysticism kind of thing. And he's eventually becomes the Sorcerer Supreme himself and becomes Dr. Voodoo instead of Brother Voodoo. Because Brother Voodoo is very kind of 70s blaxploitation kind of name.
Brother
Yeah.
Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo. Okay.
But I don't know if that's supposed to be the same guy or if because he does have a twin brother named Daniel Drum who has also got some magical things.
So
but
which drum brother died?
I mean, but also that would be really sad if that's his entire character in the MCU is like 10 seconds of getting murdered by Caecilius in this movie.
But it also could be just for someone like you, Andy, who notices it and gets a boingy boing for it. So
I don't know if I got a boingy
Boingy
boing
boinger.
for it.
but I mean they do that all the time. Like there'll be either some random person playing some other random person who happens to wrote the book or something on it. We're used to that. We're used to that. So it like they don't Marvel has a shit ton of money. They don't mind creating throwaway people or bringing in people just for like a splash. And then like, yeah, here you go. Go home.
But they barely like his name is muttered. It's not even really
But you caught it. The nerd Andy
I caught it
Mud.
now, 8
There's
years
so
Watched it
later,
20 times.
only because I read the subtitles and it's on there referred to him as drum.
But there's probably super nerds that have caught that.
Exactly.
I just looked at for that and I didn't see anyone.
So are you saying you are a
reference that.
super nerd? Are you saying you're not super enough?
I mean, like
Or-
no one else is talking about how.
Why are you so
Jericho
confrontational with your
Drum has appeared in the MCU. Like everyone's going, "Ooh, might he show up in a future thing?" Like technically, he's already been in. But I don't know if anyone else has heard him notice that Drum is in.
You heard it here first, then
Doctor
people.
Strange. Yeah.
Andy noticed it.
I looked for other people talking about that, and usually that would be like the first mention. Oh yeah, he had a bit part in this. He was Jericho Drum. Blah, 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 blah. But no, I don't know what the deal is.
What's the big fucking deal?
They could easily say he was not that guy, and instead, if they want to use him again,
boiker. What's the deal?
or whenever all these the incursions shake out, I'm sure they'll
Probably something to
ignore
happen.
that.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
the ancient one's kind of telling him about like how she did what she did, and it's like mind over matter. And he's like, mind over matter is all you're saying. This is all bullshit. Healing and spiritual, all of it's like crap until she knocks his spirit out of him, and he's
You
like,
know
what
what's
did you do? What's
crazy?
in this tea? And then he's
So
kind of
like
believer.
today, I was flipping through the channels, and what you call it
and you
came
got
on.
to Chanel number 5.
What was it? Endgame? Endgame came on, and it was almost that whole part where like I totally forgot she did that to Bruce
Yeah,
and knocked the Hulk out of him and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
and it made me remember that when I was rewatching this for like the 4th time
hmm
in the past 3 days.
Yep,
Wow.
that's her first trick.
Spoiler alert, because we're not to that yet. So
You've seen it. You probably
you will
probably
not remember
seen it, but
I don't know
because
if I
you
saw
was,
Endgame.
because you was doing Joe
Yeah,
and
I
you
did.
wasn't really paying any attention.
Well, so she agrees to take him under her wing, even though she kicks him out, and then they let him back in. She doesn't want to because his arrogance reminds her of Caecilius.
Caecilius.
You said it right the first time, Joe, and then ever since then you've
then
been
I can't
questioning
get it
whether or
right.
not to say it right.
Yeah, she reluctantly agrees to train him. And then Strange studies under the Ancient One and Mordo, and from ancient texts, he sneaks out of the library that he wasn't supposed to. And Master Wong kind of confronts him, and he can't believe he's read all this. And Wong ends up being hilarious towards the end, but at first
Yes.
he's very serious and doesn't
Yeah.
understand jokes, doesn't know who Beyonce is, but he's listening to Beyonce.
Wongers.
There's a little
Yeah.
Beyonce reference, which was cool.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
But part of this, like before he agrees, and they have that thing where she proves it's all real by throwing him through the multiverse and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And it was a really cool
Yeah.
effects. These effects are so cool. Just like, things moving, and now he's flying through space and everything. And
Mhm.
which I'm
The
kind
Steve
of like,
Ditko the Steve Ditko tribute sequence, but also Welcome to Magic, Marvel.
yeah, like him flying through these things. I mean, it really, like, I really think this is what it is. I think this is where I think we're in these multiverses that are all crazy and weird like this. So
Well, you see like the purple magic and everything that we see more of in Loki and parts of Spider-Man. Yes, I said Spider-Man.
Did you say Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Art
Yeah.
Art Spiegelman.
well, and just some of this is so beautiful, like with the hands, like the hands coming out of his hands, and then they come all over his bodies, and his face turns into hands, and then his eyeball.
Yeah.
He flies into his eyeballs, holding on to the whatever the
Where
color
did-
part of your eyeball
Have you
is.
seen Multitude of Madness yet?
No.
No.
Wait till
Oh.
you see that shit. That acid trip.
Yeah, there's
this
some crazy
is
shit in there
this
too.
part is big ass.
But yeah, this is so you're suggesting that everything he sees here exists. All these other dimensions are real,
yeah,
is what you're thinking.
that's I think.
And like you can say multiverse, but we haven't we've barely scratched the surface of exploring the actual universe. So all
Mhm.
this shit could be in this universe by the time we get to the end of it, which it might not
Yeah.
even be an end to it.
I mean, anything you can think of, I think, could be real. Because why could we think? How can we think of it? See what I did there? Anyway, so we get Wong, and he's a cool guy. This actor, I know he shows up later and stuff too, right? Wong.
His real name is Wong too, Benedict
Yeah.
Wong.
Oh, the actor is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, he shows up periodically in later films.
So this is where they explain. I had to watch this a couple times to get this. That Earth is protected from threats from other dimensions by a shield generated from 3 sanctums in New York, London, and Hong Kong,
yes.
which are all directly accessible from Kamartaj.
Mhm.
Ah, there you
And
go.
the sorcerer's task is to protect the sanctums though Pangborn instead chose to channel mystical energy only to heal his paralysis, like you said. But Strange progresses quickly and secretly reads the book from which Caecilius stole the pages. Caecilius, learning to bend time with the Eye of Agamotto.
Oh shit.
So
Well, that's what Strange. Yeah, Strange learns that by bending time and getting the pages back, so he learns what Caecilius actually
Strange
took.
progresses quickly and reads the book that Caecilius stole the pages from,
Right.
but he's missing those pages. And then he learns to bend time. And then I like the whole thing where he even says, like, what was at the end, or where he's like, he should have read the warnings that were after the spells, and then
Mhm.
Wong kind of laughs.
Yeah.
That's at the end, but Mordo and Wong warn Strange against breaking the laws of nature, and talk about Caecilius, and kind of explains who he is. And then we see that Caecilius uses the stolen pages to contact Dormammu of the Dark Dimension, where time is non-existent, and destroys the London Sanctum to weaken Earth's protection. And so now we have like kind of a plot, like and we realize that somebody's got to take that spot, right when they.
Oh, is that a question?
Right.
Right?
Were you asking a question? I felt like you were just saying, and like you paused, like you was waiting for an answer.
I don't know.
Sometimes learning is just like speaking out loud what's going on, so you actually know what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes I got to repeat it out to myself. This is what's happening, right? But they have like the montages of him learning with all the, magical orbs and everything, and you see him reading the books and all this.
You learn about relics. Relics are like, we can't handle the magic, so we imbue the objects with it. So now the objects have this magic. The wand of Watum, the stuff he mentions, like Mordo's teaching him about relics, and then how
they choose you. They choose you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At the Cape of Levitation.
And then the cape does that, right? So they just talk about they choose you, then we see the cape doing that later.
Mhm.
She's real handy. And a great way to get around the fact that no one wears capes by saying, all right, this cape decides to wear you.
Yep.
And so now you're a cape guy, even though, but your cape is actually useful. It's not just this ridiculous affectation.
But then I think there's those parts where they kind of make you wonder, as the listener, the watcher of the movie,
The viewer.
is Caecilius really the bad guy? Because then he explains his part to Doctor Strange, and he's sort of like, no, the ancient.
There was
one's the
never a
bad.
moment where I thought he wasn't the bad guy. I find it interesting that you still question it. Even in his explanation, it is like, yo, my man, that literally is the dark side.
Yeah, he's all right. It's Dormammu is Trump.
Yes.
Caecilius is a rabid Trump supporter who like heard one bad thing. Like I found out that the ancient one, summons power from the dark dimension, or is bipartisan perhaps.
Mhm.
And then this guy is like, you have betrayed this. I think since you are wrong, I think you're wrong. So Dormammu must be right. I'm going to double down on how right he is. I don't care what damage it does to anything else to support him. I'm going
Exactly.
to kill anyone who disagrees. I'm going to destroy all your protections and everything that is maintaining the status quo to serve him because
Mhm.
he is the right way.
Well,
And
man,
then they
most
say,
yeah.
look, his eternal reward is torment. It is not peace. And he goes, you're a liar, because she hid the thing about the dark dimension. He found that out, so he thinks she's a liar. You can't convince him with any amount of truth that she's not a liar. So he's just in service of the dark dimension. And it's not until the very end when he starts to get, oh wait, maybe I did the wrong thing, because Doctor Strange is like, all right, you got what you wanted, eternal time in the dark dimension.
There you
right.
go.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna like it.
Yeah, it's not gonna feel good. I think it's
And
turned
that's
into
what's
a-
going to happen when you elect a dark overlord that doesn't give a shit about anything but his own hunger.
Oh, I didn't realize the guy who he thought was the ancient one, Master Himbu or whatever, Himmel is also the guy that doesn't have the hand, because when he says I can't do it, I'm handicapped. He's like, look at this guy, and then he's like, oh shit, I can do it.
Yeah.
So
It's not your hands. It's not about you.
yeah.
Isn't that, can we just put that on a bunch of t-shirts and walk around everywhere? It is not about you.
Not about you.
Not about you. Not about you. Not about you.
Right?
To paraphrase the Go-Go's.
Okay, so these zealots of Caecilius attack the New York Sanctum. They kill its guardian, and Strange holds them off with the help of the Cloak of Levitation. That's what it's called, the Cloak of Levitation,
not
right?
the cake cloak, right? Yeah.
Only to be critically injured during a skirmish. He teleports himself back to the hospital. That's when he goes back through the portal, and Palmer saves him. So where the hell have you been, Katmandu? Like the Bob Seger song? Because so he's really, but that's a big cool fight scene too. That whole thing is
On the astral plane.
yeah.
Yeah, it was all about the visuals and folding time in itself, and doing
Mhm.
crazy shit with the New York setting.
Well,
Like,
and he comes out of his body, and she can see that, and then they're fighting as ghosts, like while she's, and that's
They're
what part of
not
it's like. Can
ghosts,
she see
Joe.
it? Can
They're
she see them?
astral projections.
And
Astral
yet,
projection.
at times they affect the physical realm, because it keeps knocking shit over in the operating room and freaking her out.
Well, and as we know in real life, ghosts do that sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so.
And the movie Ghost, get off my train. That guy who also worked at Burlington Air Express, everybody called him Skeletor.
That is not the same guy.
You sure?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. That guy had a mustache.
Moustache.
Okay.
You sound like you didn't believe Andy at all.
No, the guy from Ghost really did drive a forklift at a place we worked in 1994.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Strange now at this point, before once he learns to do a little bit of the stuff, then he shaves his I forgot, we got to back up a little. Then he shaves his goatee into that weird, stupid thing, and then he does the whole dimension thing where he goes through the portal to Christine and she saves him. But then he returns to the sanctum, and Strange reveals to Mordo that the Ancient One has been drawing power from the dark dimension to sustain long life, and Mordo becomes disillusioned with her. And after a fight in the mirror dimension of New York, Caecilius mortally wounds the Ancient One, and that's where we see the Ancient One fall to her death.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Escapes to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Right? Allegedly the Ancient One's dead now.
Well,
Allegedly.
yeah, and like they took her back to the doctor, and then they have that that conversation, that astral
That's right. She's not
conversation
quite dead, because before dying, she tells.
That's when he goes, "It's not about you," and then
Yeah.
Yeah, she says you and Mordo have to work together. To defeat
One, she's telling
Caecilius.
them they have to work together. Two, you'll never be ready. There's not a time you'll be ready. You just do. And it's not about you.
Yeah.
Her big lessons in that moment.
Yeah.
And then Strange and Mordo arrive in Hong Kong to find Wong dead and the sanctums destroyed and the dark dimension engulfing Earth. But Strange uses the eye of Agamotto.
Bruh, you said it right the first time perfectly. How did you forget?
I just said I have Agamotto, right? Oh, I was reading it the other time. Yeah. He uses the eye to reverse time and saves Wong, which I was glad about because Wong's the best.
Yeah.
And then enters the dark dimension and creates that endless time loop around himself and Dormammu. Dormammu, I got a bargain. Dormammu, we got a bargain. Hey, Dormammu, I got a bargain.
Yep.
Dormammu. I'm just gonna
Where he drives him
Yeah, I want to.
crazy.
Yep. And I love
What
seeing
is this?
like this
What is
giant
this? Make
evil
it
face.
stop.
Wait, what's going on? I don't understand. So
Yeah,
that was clever.
I watched this scene on a plane coming back from Denver, and we were going through turbulence at that time. So it's kind of fitting, like really rough turbulence while I'm watching this whole battle.
Watching Doctor Strange get murdered 100 times.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting, like, sort of step in his development. He's willing to die over and over, forever, in order to make sure.
Just like Cap.
Yeah.
When Captain America's like, I can do this all day.
Yep.
No parallel.
Although, like, I think he's betting on the fact that Dormammu's not going to want to do this forever. So he'll probably be able to strike that bargain. That's what he's going for.
Yeah.
But
tired of it.
so but he's willing to sacrifice himself over and over and over.
Yeah.
And suffer those deaths, which is kind of a way to put the button on. It's not about you. You're worthless. You can't beat this guy. So, and he's going to kill you a bunch of times to prove it. But you've forced him into a stalemate, and that's the best you got. So that's kind of a clever moment.
Yep.
Although the time loops become a dangerous thing.
There's always consequences, white and
But this is the first time.
Payment comes due.
This movie's the first time, really, that they have introduced all this. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
They had to do a straight origin story just to introduce. You needed an entry point into magical realms.
Mhm.
So there are wizards in New York now?
This is a whole other wing of the Marvel
There's
universe.
wizards in New York now. Yeah, that's what they.
Yeah.
There are wizards everywhere.
Yep.
But this is really cool. I mean, a lot of the cool effects are cool and stuff, but it is kind of, I don't know. I'm with Andy on the magic thing. I'm always like, I guess if I have to watch a show about magic, I'll watch it. Blech.
Magic is cool.
Well, I say be careful what you say about magic, or we are no longer friends.
I'm sorry, but Harry Potter sucks.
Listen, me
Oh,
and TBJ
Joe.
agree on the power of magic.
It's a whole world where kids learn to defend themselves and find their tribes. Come on. That's why it's so
I didn't
tragic
know
that
that.
JK.
But there's
I
only
just
one
thought
of 4
freaking
tribes,
loony.
and a hat tells you what your tribe is.
It sorts you, but also the hat kind of tells you if you
Right,
read or watched.
Right, it
Harry
doesn't.
was sitting between 2 tribes, and the hat helped him. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, my man, it's really up to you.
Basically, it's all about what kind of person you are. The hat just sitting there like, oh, interesting.
It's gonna put you in your dorm, but how you behave,
right,
how you handle situations is up to you. And
so if you're a Hufflepuff and you live in Hufflepuff house, but you start acting like a Ravenclaw, do you get to move?
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Or do you have to go say, hey, hat,
well,
go put me in the Ravenclaw
here's the thing.
house?
No.
Here's the thing. You can like how she just said, Harry Potter could have been
it could have been Slytherin.
Or he went to Gryffindor. So you could be either or. Like you're never truly just Hufflepuff or just truly Ravenclaw.
Which is the moral of the thing. You're not just
you can be a little bit of both.
I don't know what the Hufflepuff you guys are talking about.
Then why is the hat forcing you to go to one of them?
It's like dorms. You all can't stay in the same damn dorm. But then it's also it's a school.
The hat's not forcing you. The hat's not saying you must go here.
You go there. That's your team.
Like he'll just scream out like, "Oh, let's see."
But I will tell you, Andy, that's not odd. There are schools predating this who sort their students into different dorms.
Dodgeball. Gym.
Yeah.
Fucking gym. You line up, pick teams.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
a hat
you can't have
doesn't
an
pick your
uneven
team.
team.
It's a magical sorting hat.
A magical sorting hat?
It
Yes.
sorts you. It helps you find some direction when you don't have any because you're a kid. Okay, you're a kid.
Andy
Yeah, but
and
isn't
Joe
there
are totally
something to
Crab
the
and
argument
Doyle.
that kids are now going to expect magical sorting hats to sort out their lives for them?
No, if your kid doesn't know the difference between fictional and real life, that's you as a failure as a parent. One, that's your fail.
Oh, boom.
That's your fail. But two,
Mm.
you learn to suspend your imagination. You learn different patterns of people. You learn different personalities. Harry Potter's where you learn that all grown-ups cannot be trusted, which is a real life truth we should all learn. You learn that you have to find your own strength. You learn to rely on your friends and lean on each other. You learn not to be pricks.
And rely on
And
magical
also-
hats.
And also, even though you're in different houses, you all take classes together.
Yeah.
Just like in school. It's not like only Gryffindor is here, only Hufflepuff. Like, no.
No.
Like, you're next door.
I thought a
All right.
Hufflepuff was an elephant.
So these are just the names of the dorms.
Essentially, they're it's like a sorority and fraternity. We
Right,
all
right.
live in a dorm over here together. So
But
we're
each dorm
Hufflepuffs.
has personality traits.
Well, what
Right.
happens is each of the four houses, there were four founders to the school. Okay. Each
Right.
house is named after one of the founders.
This is a Harry
And
Potter
things
podcast,
like
man.
trust and loyalty tend to be a stronger trait in some than others. How your mind works, they sort you, but that doesn't mean that's your only thing, right? Hufflepuffs are known to be one way, but we're not.
Wait. Are you a Hufflepuff?
I am a Hufflepuff,
Wait a minute.
a friend to all
Oh,
who gets undervalued. We're the house that will take anyone who
You
doesn't
wouldn't-
have a house.
wait a
We're
minute. Did
the
a hat
most
make you a Hufflepuff?
belonging.
Are you claiming
you and
yourself
Andy
as a
should find
Hufflepuff?
out what house you
No,
belong
there's
to.
an official quiz. I am a Hufflepuff. I didn't have to take the quiz to know that I'm a Hufflepuff. I know my personality enough to know.
Wait,
I'm
there's a
Hufflepuff.
wait. Who?
There's a website.
Where's the quiz?
There's an official quiz.
Official.
Harry
according
Potter
to
You
who?
learn
Wizarding
your
World.
you learn your house. You sort
Harry
to your
Potter
house.
Wizardingworld.com.
You figured out
What
your
website?
Patronus.
Harry
You
Potter
figure
Wizarding
out
World.
So this is an official quiz according to the lady who hates trans people.
she wrote the books, but you know she did not come up with these quizzes. That is outsourced to other employees.
Other employees
Don't
who
speak
aren't
of
hateful.
her. She shall not be named. She who shall not be named is an ass. Even the actors who did the show were like, she's an ass. But it did a lot for children. One, let's
And
talk about
adults.
literacy rates. But two, it helped a lot of children belong who didn't feel like they belonged.
My kids
So,
liked it. My wife read
the
all the books to both my
Fandom
kids.
still stands. I've read it, watched the movies, went on 2 different tours, one in London, one in Edinburgh, just this summer. So
Tours of
Harry
what?
Potter world. In Edinburgh, you go to, she wrote a lot of it when she was in Edinburgh. So there are lots of things like where her inspirations were from. And in one of the cemeteries,
yeah.
you see a few of the character names.
Ah,
And
yeah.
then in London, the tour is a bunch of places where the movie was filmed.
All right. So
Convince Andy?
Back to my point, magic is cool. Maybe we gonna fight about this later. Doctor Strange is not my favorite human, but magic is indeed cool. The end.
I mean, they're like the visuals are pretty amazing, and just bending brains and stuff like that is kind of neat, and doing weird tricks with reality. It's fun, but it's
That you could just
it,
end
it,
it there.
it, do- it
It's
doesn't get
fun.
me excited. Like I'm not excited to watch.
You don't
Doctor
have a
Strange.
boingy boinger about Doctor Strange.
I
She's
don't.
just like, yeah.
But that's not based on the magic of it all. That's just I'm not that hype about Doctor Strange, but it has nothing to do with the magic.
I like that he exists. I think Benedict Cumberbatch does a pretty good
So you don't like
embodying
chaos
him.
magic, Andy? You don't think chaos magic is cool? You don't think that's cool?
That's the whole Scarlet Witch thing. We'll get into that, but I don't like. I've never been super huge into like fantasy realms and stuff like that. I like the Lord of the Rings movies, but
Andy, this is all fantasy. This is
I
all
mean,
fantasy.
I mean, like swords and sorcery.
You don't like
kind of
high
stuff.
fantasy, is what you're saying. You're not really into high fantasy. Is that what you're saying, Andy?
Not particular. I
about
mean,
Doctor Who? You like
I can
Doctor Who?
enjoy stories set in the realms or
like
something, but
Doctor
it's
Who?
not like it's not what I gravitate towards.
Do you like the
Okay,
Doctor?
that can happen. That's valid.
I've never really. I tried to get into Doctor Who just by 'cause for a while, like all the Doctor Who's were available on Hulu, like back from like the 60s, and everyone was so into the new Doctor Who that I thought it'd be like, I could sarcastically start watching them from the really old shit, and then
Sarcastically start
seems like
watching.
I'd watch from the very beginning. Although there's
did-
a whole bunch of episodes in the early going that have been lost because no one thought anyone would want to see them again, and they just like recorded over them or threw away the tapes or something. So there's a handful of old early Doctor Who's that are just gone. But
Yeah,
And
'cause
then-
you never know when
Magic.
fandom will strike.
and I liked bringing up the fact that in the first episode he is referred to as Doctor Who, so that's technically his name, although they always go with the Doctor. So I'd like to bring up shit from old stupid Who that no one references anymore, and just to bother the people who are really into David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston and Matt Smith. It's like, don't just watch the new stuff. No, you have to watch all of it.
Can we talk about Flenderson Cunderfluck for a little bit? Like, was this a good
No.
Barbecue chicken
casting
sandwich.
of this guy? What is it?
Barbecue.
Barbecue chicken
Get
sandwich.
it, Dick Cumber Snatch.
Bember stick pumper snackle.
Stop. All of
Pumper
you.
pumpernickel flucker stack.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Engelbert
No.
Humperdinck.
All of you. Stop the madness.
Whoever this guy is, he's famous
Benedict
from
Cumberbatch.
he's famous from another show, right?
He was on Sherlock. He played Sherlock Holmes.
Awesome
Oh.
Sherlock.
Which I also love.
Him,
I was
him
not aware
and
of
Martin
that.
Freeman. Him and Martin Freeman.
I thought he was on Downton Abbey. Is that what he's famous from? Downton
Same thing.
Abbey. Same thing.
Downton Abbey and Sherlock are two different vibes.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
different thing.
He was also Khan in the rebooted Star Trek
Oh,
thing.
And it was also when that I forgot the name of the movie now. And I want to look it up. Where
Oh, he
was the
played
master.
like a code breaker.
Yeah.
World War II code breaker.
Oh,
genius guy.
the imitation game with Kira.
Yeah.
little known
very cool.
fact is Khan was the name of my D&D character when I played D&D in middle school. So
Yep.
named it after the Wrath of Khan.
Good job.
Anyway,
So the thing is, there's a hat, and it tells you what dorm you're going to.
and
based
that's
on your
why magic is
personality.
stupid.
So your personality needs to fit is generally you go into this dorm
Here's
because
the
you
funny
have
thing,
personality
Andy.
traits.
Here, let me tell you something though, Andy. So we took at my last job, we have to take these assessments, right, of how we think and work.
Mhm.
Everyone's assessment match their Hogwarts house perfectly. So even though it's a made up world, our very professional HR paid for these assessments of our brains and how we work matched the houses we happen to belong to, because we decided on our own if we would see if this worked. And we did a little study. So while it is made up, there is something to be said about personality type.
No, I'm just trying to get the mechanics of how this works down.
Like here, welcome to
But
school.
also saying in a sarcastic
We've
way to
gotta
make sure you
put
know
you
it's
into
dumb.
a dorm. Come forward. It's the ceremony of it all. Come forward. Have a seat.
But this
Hat
is your
something.
team.
You
You are on this team for the whole
Yes.
year, and your grades are determined by the whims of
No, your
Dumbledore.
grades are your grades.
Except for the first movie where Dumbledore says, "All right, actually, Hufflepuff won this year, but Gryffindor gets a shit
Or
ton of extra
lose the
credits and
year.
they win."
No, that doesn't.
Yeah,
that's
you're
not
one.
your grade
But
though.
that's not your grades.
Your grade, Hermione is a beast in the brain, right?
Mhm.
Her grade is not dependent on her house, but it's a competition. I don't know about you, but in high school we had 100 days of peace, right? The senior girls, junior girls, sophomore girls, freshman girls, same on the boys' side. Everyone was a team, and if you got to 100 days of peace, you got a pizza. Now, if somebody in that group messed up, you didn't get a peace party, but it didn't affect your grades. Same thing. Your group earns points throughout the year for various things. Good deeds, here's some points. You were acting a fool, minus some points. Snape didn't like you today, minus some points. But that's your end of year, like which
Okay.
house wins.
So what happens when your house wins? What you get a pizza party? That's what it is.
It's more than pizza party, yeah, but think of it as ceremonial. You
Okay.
get bragging rights. You are the top house. It is important to people.
Okay, so that's one of the things that bothered me when I watched the first movie, which is the second movie in the series that I watched. I watched the fourth one first, and then I thought this is just a really like a warning against intramural athletics because the vampire Quidditch kid dies at the end. It's like, well, all right, don't let your kids go out for any sports, or else they'll die because
Did you say the
Hogwarts
vampire
has no.
Quidditch kid?
Yeah.
Cedric Diggory? Did you
Yeah.
say the
A
vampire
Hufflepuff.
Quidditch kid?
And no, he didn't die for the sports. He died because an old dusty fool was trying to kill Harry Potter.
Animal.
He was
The boy
he,
who lived.
he was the sparkly vampire in Twilight, but
It is Cedric Diggory, and we don't talk about Twilight, but we do rep his Harry Potter days.
all right. And then I watched the first one, and then at the end, everyone said, all right, well, these guys earned all the credits, but I'm going to give Gryffindor 50 extra points so they win instead. And everyone,
Yeah, it's subjective. Teachers can decide, like, I'm going to give you bonus points today because you look good.
and that
Done.
just felt like there was no academic standards at Hogwarts.
No, but that's not your grades. Hermione was busting her ass in class. Harry didn't do great in some classes. Your class is just your classes. You have to pass
So,
classes.
and if you graduate with honors from Hogwarts, you can't tell anybody to get your job because it's secret.
Not necessarily. Most of them work in the magical realm. Harry was the only one that lived in the real world.
Because they don't like Muggles.
No, he was right. I mean, no, they just exist in a different world. The ones who didn't like Muggles were
It's like
the
you,
Death Eaters, who were
Andy.
like the racist folks.
The hell, a muggle.
Muggle is what magic people call
Non-magical.
non-magic people.
But you have to remember,
A muggle's a non-magic person.
Yeah.
yes,
It's a racist term.
no, the
Kinda.
purebloods, which is Draco Malfoy, his peeps, and the old dusty fool, didn't think anyone who wasn't born in this world should be able to be in.
I like that you
Hermione-
won't say his name
the
either.
quote unquote racist
No.
term.
I
for
like that you
Muggles.
won't say his name.
It's
that's what
the
it's called.
As
dusty
if
fool.
summoning him, if you mention his name, the he who shan't be named.
Yeah,
Who?
he and his author,
old
shall not
dusty
be
fool.
named. He is an old dusty fool, an old dusty serpent.
He doesn't have a nose either.
But
No.
so the quote unquote racist name in Harry Potter world would be called a mudblood.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
I
Those are
remember
the
you
ones.
saying
So
this.
Hermione is a mudblood, which is why she gets some hate. She's not born of magical people. She is.
So Muggle is the politically correct term.
Well, Muggle is. There are some people who have parents and relatives who were magical and just weren't. And then there's just some who've never been in that world.
Does this take
but-
place on Earth, or is it like a fake world?
It's on Earth.
Yeah,
You
yes.
you ride a train to get there. I went
None
to
and
see
three
it.
quarters. Gotta
Yeah,
yeah.
I went there. It was cool.
Wait, so it
Um,
really takes place in a real, supposedly in a real place?
London.
It's based off.
Oh, it's
yeah,
in London.
it's in the. It's on the. You take the train.
But
Well,
then
They live in
the
London,
train
like-
goes through secret dimensional
Oh, shit.
portals
What did I
to
do?
Magic Town.
Yes.
But only magic people can go there.
Only magic people go to
Well,
Magic Town.
you can't.
Only
even
if a bird
see-
shows up at your house and gives you a piece of paper
It's
that
not-
says you can come here, then you can.
You get your letter of acceptance.
You make it sound like they're all elitists, Andy.
But
Or if you-
it's also the same as college, Andy. You get a letter of acceptance that says you can go to the school or not.
Or if you
Same,
fall through a
different.
magical portal in the back of the Burger
Same,
King.
different. It's just an acceptance letter
then
to a
you
school.
End up in the
Turns
magical
out
land of Foon.
you learn things.
That's
I
from
think
Hello
you
from
should read
Magic
the
Town.
books. I think you'd change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy, read the books.
Read the books.
Read,
Don't
Andy.
depend on the movie. Read the books.
Get that Kindle. Buy that Kindle for your wife, and then take it from her and read
Don't
the
tell her
books.
anything. I haven't.
Well,
gotten it
this will
for-
come out after her birthday.
Yeah, but I might save it for Christmas.
Oh crap!
Okay, Susie, ignore this.
Well, luckily she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
don't think she
No.
does. She
No.
listens to me yammer enough.
Yeah, she doesn't want to listen to the Yammer anymore.
it's
well,
what we do.
Anyway, so at this point, Strange makes the deal with Dormammu, and he finally accepts his bargain, leaving Earth permanently and taking Caecilius and the Zealots with him in exchange for the Strange breaking the loop. Disgusted by Strange and the Ancient One defying nature's laws, Mordo renounces his sorcerer career and departs to play wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. And then Strange
No.
returns the eye, which is revealed to hold an Infinity Stone. And this is
Yep.
the part that I wanted to ask about. So then I just all of a sudden remembered, oh crap, the Infinity Stones again. We're back to this whole thing. And then I started trying to remember
It's the thing through it's a run through.
how
All
many
right.
of these have we done. This is the green one.
At this point, all right, we have this is an Infinity Stone. We've seen the first Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yep.
and they had the purple, the Power Stone.
So this
that
is the
Ronan
green
was
one.
trying to
That's
get.
the purple one.
Avengers,
That
the
we've
Blue
seen
one was the Tesseract.
Yeah, and then there's the Mind Stone that was Loki's scepter.
Which is in Vision.
The
That's also
Tesseract was
blue.
the Space Stone. The Mind Stone, I don't even remember the colors anymore. But and then we've seen in Thor: The Dark World, the Ether was more of an angry sludge, but that's can be concentrated into an Infinity Stone as well. So that's 5 of 6 Infinity Stones that we're aware of at this point.
Okay.
And so
That's why I
currently,
totally had forgot all about the goddamn Infinity Stones. Now I gotta go watch all the movies again. Start from the
all right,
beginning.
at this point, if I recall, the power gem is locked down on Xandar in their vault. That's the Guardians gem. Xandar is the planet where Rocket and Groot met, and John C. Reilly was in the Nova Corps. And
Oh,
it was
right,
like, oh look,
okay.
Star Prince.
The Collector, not that brain planet that the Collector was in. He was gonna get it, and they took it from him, right? And then went to there.
Right. So the power gem's on Xandar. The Mind Stone is in the Vision now.
It's in Vision.
Vision
Oh,
is
it's in
created.
Vision's head. That's right. Yeah.
Vision's
Mhm.
head. There's the Space Stone and the Tesseract. The Tesseract is still, I think, in Odin's vault at this point, or Loki might have.
I don't think
stolen it.
Loki has it
I
yet.
think Thor
Okay.
has it. Yeah, and Odin or
Yeah, it might be in the and then the ether is whatever the hell it ended up at the end of the Dark World. Probably back in Odin's box or something. No, that's the thing that the Collector has. They got it together, and they sent Sif and the Warriors 3 over to the Collector to sorry, you keep this in your collection.
Yep.
You keep it safe.
oh, they let him keep it. I couldn't remember how
Yeah.
that ended.
Yeah. And let's see. So that's one. Power Mind is in the Vision. The Xandar. The Collector's got one. Where is the Tesseract at this point? I'm trying to remember. And then where's the other one? I already forgot the other one.
Does
See,
Shield
it's
have
a
it?
lot to keep track of.
Does Shield have it?
The Tesseract?
No, I don't think She'll has it.
I don't
No,
think
Thor
so.
took it.
No, the Tesseract is back in the Odin's vault because
Yeah, Thor took
Thor
it.
3 is when
Right.
Loki snags it.
Right.
Mhm.
And which one am I missing?
Oh,
The Doctor Strange has the other one.
in his necklace. No, Joe, you don't have to go back and watch it all. The
All right.
Infinity Stones are big. They'll come up. It's
So
not like
he-
you're never going to hear them again.
Well, he takes this
Literally,
Infinity Stone
the
back
whole
to
point.
Kamartaj. Then he goes to New York to continue studying with Wong
and
in
to
a
take
mid-
over the
at the
post.
Sanctum. They say at the Sanctum, I guess.
Yeah, the
And
Sanctum
then-
Sanctorum.
In a mid-credit scene, then we have the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene. Strange decides to help Thor, who has brought his brother Loki to Earth to search for their father Odin, and he kind of talks about that a little bit. And that kind of reminds me, I don't know if we talked about the Marvel one-shots about Thor and what he was doing during the Civil War. He's
Yeah,
drinking
did
beer
you
with
watch all
Daryl,
this? Yeah,
his roommate Daryl.
like little comedy shorts where he's just hanging out on Earth being Thor.
I wonder why they made those or what that was.
I
from.
think they thought it was a fun, like, what was Thor doing during Civil War? Let's
Yeah.
have some fun with Chris Hemsworth.
that was funny.
So so this is the mid-credit sequence is a teaser for Thor Ragnarok, which is
Right.
the
Which I
next Thor
love
film.
so much.
which I thought was going to be next, and then I looked and it's not next.
No, we've got a little ways to get to
Okay.
that.
Which this is the one everybody's been building up as the greatest movie ever, and so I
I
can't
love
wait
it
to.
so
And I
much.
haven't seen it, so
You're gonna love it.
I can't wait. And then in the post-credit scene, Mordo confronts Pangborn and steals the mystical energy he uses, kills Benjamin Bratt,
He
and
doesn't kill him. He just
just
re-cripples
takes his
him.
magic out of his gut or whatever.
Just
And tells
leaves
him that
paralyzed.
Earth has
Yeah.
too many sorcerers.
Yeah, and was an interesting setup that has not in any way been followed up on at all.
Would have been interesting to
the
be.
the next time we hear of Mordo, it's not until Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of
That's right,
Madness,
that's the
and
thing
he's
we're
sort of brushed off as some guy who's tried to kill me a bunch of times. And we don't even see this. We still haven't seen this Mordo yet. The Mordo we see in that movie is an alternate dimension version of Mordo.
Who's actually the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, at that point. But and so we're still waiting to hear what the hell, other than I've tried and failed to kill Doctor Strange a few times, what Mordo is doing. And I guess he's trying to exterminate sorcery, and he hasn't done a bang up job of it yet.
Not a great job. He shouldn't be wandering around out there by himself. That's the point.
Right. So hopefully at some point they'll follow up on MCU Mordo. But it's a good setup, and he's a good actor, and I want to see more of him.
I think
Agreed.
it's funny that I'm watching this movie the same time. It's around the same time it came out, November 6th-ish, around election time. Also that I'm now into this Marvel Snap game, and it's got these dimensions, and he's got these dimensions and doorways that he throws up, and it feels like it's so weird. I'm playing the game, and then I'm watching this movie at the same time. And then I definitely been playing Marvel Snap too much, because that's all I dreamt about last night is that I was playing these games. I couldn't figure out which cards to play. And then it's the dream. It's not even a real, but now I'm losing all the time. Marvel Snap, I was dominating the beginning. I can't lose. I'm like too good at this. I dominate everybody. Now I can't freaking
That's
win.
how the mobile games get you.
They get you in.
They get you in. Well, you win a lot. You get a lot of stuff, and then they slow you down so you don't get everything too soon.
And not even that. They not only slow you down so you get everything too soon, they get you to like, oh, fuck, I really have to buy the season pass because I want all this extra stuff.
Yeah, I'm not.
I gotta buy this extra thing because I want to refresh my energy.
But I'm having more fun with just the locations. Like, I can't wait to see what location comes up. Oh, yeah, clone my guys. Yeah, use all these guys.
You got Scarlet Witch yet?
I got Scarlet. I've had Scarlet Witch for a while.
Have you played her any?
Yeah.
She destroys location and turns it into something
else. I don't like that because I get excited about a location as it is.
But if it's a shitty location, you need to get rid of it.
But then there's also, just because you have the card in your hand doesn't mean you have to play it.
That's true. But my favorite is the Watcher, I think. I like having the Watcher where I know what all three of them are going to be.
Yep. That's pretty good. See? All right.
I am so sorry because I've never played this game.
So I'm a super nerd now. TBJ.
Joe has a point. You born for Marvel Snap.
If you like games on your phone where you like Bubble Bop and all that, and
I don't play any games on my phone. Is the
not even Candy Crush?
No, I don't play any games on my phone. There are no games.
Whoa.
That's just
what kind of a person?
I keep telling you guys the way my brain works. It needs it limits a lot of distractions.
You need to get rid of the distractions.
Function, which is why I don't watch a lot of TV. It's just to help my brain.
I'm jonesing for Snap. I need
process
some Snap.
life.
I need to end this episode so I can get back to Snap.
All right. So
if I were to play a game on my phone, it'd probably be like Wordle or Words with Friends, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
well, we got through the whole movie now. When I just just reading the plot goes a lot quicker. But I didn't have a lot of questions and things. I think we covered a lot of it.
Yeah. Anyone want to rate it?
So it's hard.
Good.
This is a great movie.
Yeah,
but it's not great compared to the other ones.
So out of 5, where are we at?
Is it MCU 5 or just movies in general 5? Like,
I'll
take this over any other normal movie.
It's our MCU out of 5. How many stars?
Maybe 3.5. I mean, it's good, and it's a great stepping stone into this realm, and it's a way to introduce this entire wing of the Marvel Universe into the MCU. But it's not a movie I'd go to a lot and want to watch.
No, I'm not.
It's not one like big on repeated viewings. It's like, all right, this is cool. This is a great launching point, but I'm more interested to where this guy goes from here after the story.
Would not even watch it again. Artstar, your rating?
A 4, and I rate it because a 4 because like when I was watching it again today, I'm like, okay, I know this is an MCU movie, but for me, I'm able I look at it as just like another movie where it doesn't. To me, it doesn't lean really heavy into the MCU. It's introducing Doctor Strange to the MCU. It's one of those things where I wish a movie like Morbius was like right, like you watch, like, okay, I get what's going on here. This is introducing the character. I know what universe it's in, and it entertains me enough that I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
I'd watch it again. I'd watch it multiple times.
There you go, Joe.
I don't know if I can give it a number. I'll give it a letter. I'll give it Q.
Out of how many letters?
Out of L and MNOP.
Are we doing Roman numerals now?
Lord knows what Joe's brain.
Can I give it a 3?
Sure,
I
a
give it
3.
an 11.
I will rate this one grandma.
Okay. So Joe's not going back to rewatch this one.
No, I think I'm gonna watch it again though, just because I'll understand it. I need to watch them all 3. I'm just a dumb guy. I need to watch everything 3 times just to get it as much as you guys get it. So I'm like, it's on while we're talking. So I'm kind of like remembering everything.
You know what I watched the other day that I've never watched, and I'm
porn with your grandparents,
and I'm mad. I'm mad that it took me this long to watch it. Love, Simon.
Yeah, it's cute.
It is. It was.
It's also a book. Read the book first.
I don't know what that is.
When I've seen it, I was like, okay, I know this is a book. I know this is a book. I have to watch this.
It's a book, and there's
this.
also a sequel with his best friend the book is really cute too, The Offbeat. So if you don't have time to sit down and read, the audiobook's pretty good.
Well, what about you, TBJ? What do you give this?
I'm not a fan of arrogant white dudes, so
as she looks at Andy.
No, Andy and I only fight every once a quarter.
Well, you guys got a fight on your hands now. This Harry Potter fight could be. Show.
This
could be a night show.
The crazy thing about it is, I'm on TBJ's side.
I know.
I know, and I'm on
might
Andy's
be a full
side,
moon outside.
which is kind of funny.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm on Team Andy on this one.
If you think about it, though, rule of two.
The Sith thing.
Well, I like the idea of you guys debating. The debate isn't like, which one's best.
Well, Joe, I don't even take your debate seriously because you probably have never read or watched the movies full through.
I'm not a debater.
You don't even count. But
I want Andy,
I'm surprised.
Art can help you with someone, but I'll just say
I want you and Andy to go to wizardingworld.com and find out which house you guys are in.
But I love that the fact that the debate is.
I'm a muggle.
The debate is.
No, you're not.
I guess the debate is it dumb or not?
There are legions.
It's a cool thing. It's great.
There's a whole fandom.
The fact that you played Dungeons and Dragons in high school means you love magic.
That was middle school.
You're in denial, Joe.
I just want you to read the books. Go read the books. Do not buy them because we don't want to put money in her pockets. But you can pick them up at your local library and read them. Or audiobook them. The audiobooks are actually pretty good.
But do the audiobooks get money in her pocket though?
If you can get it from the library. The library has the audiobooks for rent.
Yeah, but doesn't that still somehow get in the pocket money somewhere?
Listen, you get it from the library, so she may get a penny off the library, but she's getting dollars off the books, physical books.
Can't somebody talk to her and just be like, hey?
Lots of people have tried.
Here's the thing. People have tried. Her actors who are starring in these movies have tried. She's just doubled down. And you guys know what that looks like. We have people like that in America who are just like, I'm gonna double down on this. Racism, give me more. It's great. Homophobia, I like it. It's unfortunate.
It's fucking weird.
It's so weird because her whole thing is about belonging. Like
isn't that the whole thing? Your whole
is
thing
about belonging.
Is about belonging,
finding your place,
except for this group,
battling your demons. And she's like, "That's cool, except for trans people." She's just trash. She's a trash human. But back to my point. 3. Yeah.
3 stars.
3 because I would not watch it again. I actually was not looking forward to the rewatch for this show. Not because I dislike it greatly, but it's just one of those.
You're right. Magic sucks.
It's not because magic sucks. I like magic, but Doctor Strange, like much like Iron Man, for me, is not a character that I would pay
It's not
more
somebody you
attention
care.
to.
It doesn't bring you
No, I don't
along.
care.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
the way to put. I don't
You
care about him enough
Yeah.
to want to buy into anything to do with him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like
don't either.
I read a lot of comics, but I rarely would read a Doctor Strange comic.
Yeah,
because
I
it's
just
not
he's
where
not
my
it.
interest
Just
lies.
doesn't appeal to you. TBJ, do you know any magic tricks? Can you
No,
do
I
any
do
magic
not.
tricks?
I'm an observer of the magic. I am not a doer of the magic.
Not even one. You couldn't even do one.
I
Magic
mean, I
trick?
have my natural innate black girl magic inside
Oh, that's
me.
true. You have black girl magic. All yeah. You're just.
It flows
aggressive.
through my veins on a daily basis.
Here's a quick question: do we see? You guys know that? I mean, maybe this is like a spoiler thing. I'll find out. But do we see Rachel McAdams again after this movie, or is that it?
In Doctor Strange Multiverse
Yeah.
of Madness.
And does she become a superhero, or a?
No.
Oh,
Well,
because I just realized
see,
the last we see her in this movie, I think, is when he goes back through that portal and she sees that, oh shit, this portal's a real thing, and he disappears, and she's like, oh, and then I don't think we see her again.
Yeah, and I thought
Well, because she's living in the
that
real
was
world.
part of why I was
Yeah.
thinking, like, there's this character Clea who is like another
Oh, that's
sorcerer.
right. You were saying that, yeah.
And I thought that she would be that because that's Rachel McAdams. Why would you cast Rachel McAdams as someone you would cast to be someone? Really
Yeah, she's
cool?
kind of a big
But then
deal, right?
I just finally researched her character for this one because that's how, you know, like I didn't quite engage with Doctor Strange. Plus, you know, it's got bad associations of being the beginning of the Trump era.
Yeah.
But then I said, oh, Christine Palmer's a night nurse, so that character is not going to probably be a superhero. But we do have, but yeah, we don't hear from her again until this year's Doctor Strange movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's
we'll just
8 years
wait for
later.
that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in the year
We
2071.
don't talk about
Yeah.
Christine no more.
The
But
next
we'll
one
see
we've
her
got
again.
is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
2. And we'll be
Oh.
back just in time for that.
Oh,
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy is next again. That's
Yep.
good.
Number 2.
Guardians of
Mhm.
the Galaxy 2.
Volume 2.
Although I'm probably going to watch Black Panther again in preparation to go see Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
Oh man, I
Because
was
that's about
watching.
to come out.
ABC did a thing the other day. It's on Hulu now, where they was like talking about the movie, and they spoke to Ryan Coogler, spoke to Whoopi spoke to his wife. They showed an exclusive clip at the end of it. Then they talked about the music and everything about the movie and everything. And you know, Artstar is tough, right?
Mhm.
Artstar is tough. I just finished watching Love, Simon, and I gotta say, the Mighty Artstar was feeling the feels watching Love, Simon, and then he started watching this Black Panther thing. Like I've been heard the Rihanna song, right?
Yeah.
So watching this thing and watching Love, Simon, and I was like, when in this movie, depending on when they play this song, I feel like the Mighty Artstar is going to feel super emotional. You heard it here first. You heard
All
it
right.
here first.
So you're planning to cry, is what you're saying. You're going to cry.
Listen,
You're going to bawl and
Men-
sob loudly.
Listen, I'm not gonna
and-
pretend like it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna cry like a damn baby.
Absolutely. I'll probably get misty-eyed. I'm an easy target. I cried at Snoopy Come Home.
That's
did.
true. Andy did. Andy cries at work a lot.
Don't
Well,
we all,
that's
though?
for other reasons.
Okay, quick round of Tilda Swinton trivia. Tilda Swinton plays the Ancient One. Let's go around the horn, just you three, since you guys are the nerds, and see who can name the most movies that she's
Oh,
been in.
come on.
But it wouldn't be nerddom. Tilda Swinton is just a really good actor, but it doesn't mean she
What's
wouldn't
trivia?
count
Trivia's
as
nerdy.
in nerddom.
Can you guys name? Oh shit! Oh son of a bitch!
Oh, son of a caca.
Drop my water. Sorry. Can you guys name any movie she's in?
Yeah, she's in that movie with Brad Pitt called, what is that? Destroy Before You Open. What is that movie? He plays such
Oh,
a dumb
Burn
Burn
After
before
Reading.
reading.
Burn After Reading.
Burn
Yeah.
After Reading. All right, Andy, can you name one?
Oh God,
Don't get me the line.
I used to know a lot of them. There's some where she's like in the snow.
She's that mother.
Oh, I
in
got
We Have to
one.
Talk
I
About
got
Kevin.
one.
Let's
I ain't
talk about
watched it yet.
Kevin.
I ain't watched it yet.
Talk about
3,000
Kevin.
Years of Longing, right?
Yeah, I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's like we have
We-
to talk about Kevin or something like that.
Kevin,
Yeah,
I think it's
we
just
need to
Kevin.
talk about Kevin. I
We
think.
don't talk
Yeah.
about Kevin.
What about
no.
isn't it 3,000 Years of Longing? Is
Yeah,
that a
she's
new
in
one?
that.
With her
That's a new one.
and Constantine.
I did not.
Constantine.
I never saw that one.
She was in Benjamin Button. How about that? We talked about Benjamin Button.
No,
Is it
you talked
Benjamin
about
Bratt?
Benjamin Button.
She was
I
in
don't know
that.
if we-
She was in
Was she in
Trainwreck,
Was she in Nash Bridges?
directed by Judd Apatow.
she in
Trainwreck
the
with Amy Schumer.
Was she in an episode of Nash
Where
Bridges?
LeBron James also is in that movie and is actually quite funny in his role.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at LeBron James. in
LeBron
that
James is good.
I
John
know.
Cena. Isn't that where we see John Cena's balls?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever paid attention to a movie to see John Cena's balls.
I'm just happy that TBJ just said John Cena's balls. I never thought she'd ever say John Cena's balls before. And that'll be her tagline as we leave
No,
the podcast.
don't
We'll
you
say
dare
Excelsior,
edit
and she'll
that. I
say
swear.
John Cena's balls.
And
Joe,
boingy
I will
boingers.
murder you in your sleep if you
Wow. In your sleep.
in
Wow.
your sleep.
Some
I
other
like your
movies
wife.
she's been in.
I think
Burn
she'll
After
let me
Reading,
in.
The Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
that.
That's what
The
I was trying to
Chronic.
think of.
What Chronicles of
Oh
Narnia?
yeah, she is in those.
Vanilla Sky. A lot, but she's been in a ton. Haven't heard of. Most
Yeah,
of
she's
these
been in all
movies.
sorts of shit.
No, she's been a
Or
solid.
movies.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
solid.
she was in Snowpiercer with Chris Evans.
And she was
I
in the
need to watch that.
Eurythmics.
That's a movie
She's
I need to watch. And then
Also
the
in
series.
the Eurythmics.
The series is awesome. The series is freaking awesome. And we get Sean Bean in season. Sean Bean, I think, shows up in season
Sweet
3.
dreams are made of these. She sings that song.
Yes, she does.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we apologize for everything Artstar said that offended you. in
And
this
Joe.
episode.
And we
And
all
me.
love magic here. We love magic here.
No, we don't. Magic's dumb.
Joe
Exactly.
doesn't count because he hasn't even dived into reading or look. He probably didn't even watch any of the movies.
Like Doug
Our
Henning and all that.
Andy, we will get
Doug
to read the
Henning.
books.
Magic is the spirit of illusion.
I watched the fourth one, then I watched the first one. I watched a part of the
Need to
second one in the dentist's
read.
office.
Read.
Then I think I've watched.
I've watched none of them
fifth
because I
and
want
the
to snap my neck as soon as they're on.
It's
the
not a
sixth
And I don't
and
read
then-
anything.
I will
Isn't that-
urge you to read the books. I do like the movies. I do think they're pretty good, but the books do so much
Books are-
more
yeah,
and bring
yeah,
us
way better. And they're nice,
so many
thick,
people.
healthy reads. Nice,
gotta-
thick, healthy reads.
Gotta hand
They
it to
are.
Dr. Strange.
When we
though.
went to the pandemic, I did a reread.
A reread of Harry Potter.
Mhm.
All of them. You read all of them,
It's
TBJ?
what they say is true.
How many
Harry
are there?
Yes.
Potter has come to Hogwarts.
I've read them all. I was at Harry Potter World
How
in
many are there?
Orlando last October.
There are 8 books.
That's it? That's not
No,
that
there-
bad.
What,
There's
and,
seven.
7.
There's
I mean, the
seven
movie,
books.
8 movies. 8 movies, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the last one is split.
I
into 2
gave up
movies.
after I still haven't seen like the third one or something, but I watched 7.1, the second to last movie
Yeah.
where nothing happens. And it's just the Harry Potter and the monetized exposition. And
Go read the books.
okay.
You guys gotta
If
admit,
it's
that part
the
of
one thing I urge you to do, I urge you to read the book so you have a better understanding of what's happening in that world. But don't buy the books because she's trash.
Right.
And I
What's
know
better, Infinity Stones or Horcruxes?
Probably Infinity Stones because Horcruxes just have chunks of an asswipe's soul in them.
And Asswipe's soul.
But they're
Huffalumps?
mighty dangerous.
I'm Team Huffalump.
Dusty old fool.
Huffalump
No
is
nose.
Harry Potter, you nut job. You wouldn't be in Hufflepuff, Joe.
Huffalump? Heffalump.
No, that's
No,
you-
where I'm in Snuffleupagus.
I'm Team Snuffleupagus.
you're
right,
all
Thanks
fired.
for listening. It's time to get out of here. And TBJ, say it. John Cena's balls. Say it.
She's not saying a damn thing other than goodbye later, nerds.
Do you love the
Toodaloo.
nerds that listen?
We're cool. Unless you're misogynist. Unless you're misogynist, we're not cool.
Boom.
There you go.
All right.
And
Peace.
boom goes the dynamite.
I think
Excelsior nerds and fuck the misogyny.
if you wanted to edit
Corporate world.
rap about the president no more, but evidently they don't see we in the streets still poor. Still more incarceration of my kinsmen by the prisons, and people thinking this election to end in racism. Proud over pessimism, glad to see Obama, but don't expect me not to speak out when I still see problems, Mr. Officer. Now they POTUS look like me, you gon' think again when seeing brothers rolling down the street. Every Martin Luther King on his American dream, still a Rodney being beaten, screaming fuck the police. Me, I'm running through the pasture, trying to get away from master, but the dogs is on my ass, I gotta move a little faster. Can't pass for Caucasian, but I got a couple papers from the plantation saying I graduated, congratulations. Cool beans, but to most school mean trying to dodge STDs, living off government cheese. Trust the government, please. Not even if it was me sitting in the Oval Office as commander-in-chief, trying to give us free, but there's a nigga in my ear saying, you got it, Superman, you ought to kick it here. Get this distinctly clear, I'm all about jetting. Raps Kunta Kinte without the half-stepping. A new chapter, back with new lessons. After that, the final exam. Any questions?
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.